Clean the threads on the inside of the bosses and the matching threads on the cantilever brake bolts. If they've been used before, acetone is the best substance to remove old thread lock glue. Handle acetone with care. It's volatile and flammable. The inside of the bosses need to be sticky. Clean the outside of the bosses. The outside of the bosses need to be slippery. Lightly grease the outside of the bosses. Don't get grease on the threads inside the bosses. Each arm has its own return spring. One end of the spring sticks out of the back of the arm and locates in a plate at the base of the boss. If the boss has 3 holes, make sure the springs on each side are located in matching holes. The top hole gives a sharper return action. The bottom hole makes the cantilever brakes easier to pull on, but in this position they return with less force. Mount the arms on the bosses with the springs in matching holes. Carefully apply a small amount of thread lock adhesive to the inside of the bosses and then screw in the bolts to lock the arms on the frame. The bolts need to be as tight as possible but still allow the arms to pivot. If the wheel is out of the bike, replace the wheel. Mount the blocks symmetrically so both hit the rims flat. Check for symmetry with your head on the bike's centre line. Some systems allow you to tow in the cantilever brake blocks. If the front of the shoe hits the rim slightly sooner than the back, the cantilever brakes may be less likely to squeal. Set up the main cantilever brake cable. Thread the yoke into the main cable and clamp it in a position where the straddle wire will rest in the yoke, angled roughly 45 degrees above the horizontal. Hook the nipple end of the straddle cable into one arm. Run the straddle cable over the yoke and thread it under the cable clamp. Pull the straddle cable through while holding the cantilever brake arms in the ready position with the blocks close to the rim. Clamp the cable. One or both of the arms may have a small screw to adjust the preload on the spring. Screwing in the balance screw makes the arm it's in more active. Unscrewing the balance screw makes the spring work more gently. Adjust the screw or screws until both arms move the same amount. Cut and cap the ends of the main cable and the straddle cable, leaving plenty of room for adjustment.